What do you see when you look up at the night sky? An endless darkness and thousands of shimmering stars. But among those stars, there are silent and mysterious worlds much closer to us. Our own cosmic neighborhood, our solar system. But what if I told you that those familiar names, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, hold secrets we can hardly imagine? A planet that spins on its side, a gas giant lighter than water, and worlds of ice where it rains diamonds. What you know is just the beginning. Now, it's time to open the door to our home and meet the unbelievable truths about our neighbors. Mercury. We begin our adventure in the innermost ring of the solar system, in the antechamber to hell. Before you stands Mercury, so close to the sun that, from its surface, our star would appear 3 times larger and 11 times brighter than it does from Earth. This overwhelming proximity brings one question to mind. Is this the hottest place in the universe? This is where we encounter the solar system's first great misconception. Mercury is not the hottest planet. It lost that title to Venus, whom we'll meet shortly. Mercury is the planet of the greatest extremes. The reason for this incredible dichotomy is the almost complete absence of the most fundamental element that makes a planet habitable, an atmosphere. Instead of what we would call an atmosphere, Mercury has a ghost-thin layer called an exosphere, composed of atoms blasted off its surface by the solar wind and micrometeorite impacts. This thin veil cannot trap, distribute, or block the sun's heat. The result? The side facing the sun turns into a scorching furnace of 800 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to vaporize lead and tin. But as the planet rotates, the side deprived of the sun is exposed to the merciless, absolute void of space, and the temperature plummets to an unbelievable minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a temperature swing of over 1,000 degrees in a single rotation. A world where you would be instantly incinerated on one side and frozen solid in seconds on the other. The concept of time doesn't work as we know it on Mercury either. It performs a bizarre cosmic dance. It completes one trip around the sun, its year, in just 88 Earth days, making it one of the fastest travelers in the system. However, its rotation on its own axis is so slow that one full turn takes 59 Earth days. And when this slow spin combines with its fast orbit, the strangest phenomenon emerges. The time from one sunrise to the next, a solar day on Mercury, is a full 176 Earth days. That means one day on Mercury is longer than 2 of its years. Imagine waking up one morning and, while waiting for evening, watching the planet circle the sun twice. Mercury's surface is a silent witness to a history of billions of years of violence. Like the moon, it's battered by countless craters. But one among them eclipses all others, the Caloris Basin. This colossal impact crater, about 960 miles in diameter, was formed billions of years ago when an asteroid the size of Texas slammed into the planet. The energy from this impact was so immense that shockwaves traveled through the planet's core and erupted on the opposite side, creating a jumbled, hilly region known as the chaotic terrain. Another mystery on the surface are the long, winding cliffs called lobate scarps that crisscross the planet like a net. These wrinkles are evidence of Mercury's gigantic iron core cooling and contracting over billions of years. Just like a drying apple, Mercury has shrunk over time, causing its crust to buckle and wrinkle. And here lies Mercury's greatest secret, hidden beneath its surface, a disproportionately large iron core that makes up about 85% of the planet's radius. This supports theories that Mercury might actually be the leftover core of a once much larger planet. Perhaps a giant impact in its youth stripped away most of its outer layers. And at the end of our journey here, we witness the most mind-boggling discovery. At the polar regions of this fiery neighbor, in the eternal shadows of deep craters where sunlight has never reached for billions of years, there is frozen water or ice, likely delivered by comets and asteroids. This ice survives like a frozen oasis in the heart of hell, a world where fire and ice, light and shadow, time and violence dance at their most extreme. Mercury. Venus. Every family has a mysterious and hard-to-understand member. In the family of the solar system, that role undoubtedly belongs to Venus. When we look at our sky, it's the brightest object after the sun and moon. Sometimes as the morning star, sometimes as the evening star, it winks at us. A bright, serene, and innocent-looking jewel. Its size, mass, and gravity are so similar to Earth's that for years, scientists called it Earth's twin sister. But behind this brilliant veil lies not a twin, but a reflection of the most terrifying nightmare Earth could ever become. To understand Venus, we must first pierce its suffocating and toxic shroud, its atmosphere. These are not clouds of water vapor like on Earth. They are layers, tens of miles thick, made of pure sulfuric acid droplets. The acid rain that falls from these clouds evaporates due to the planet's insane surface temperature before it can even touch the ground. This acid fog hides the planet like a secret and gives it that brilliant appearance by reflecting most of the sunlight. But it also traps a small portion inside, and this is where the gates of hell swing open. When you manage to land on the surface of Venus, you encounter the most brutal environment in the solar system. The atmospheric pressure here is a full 92 times that of Earth's surface. This is a pressure equivalent to being more than half a mile deep in our planet's oceans, a force that would crush a steel submarine like a tin can. And that's just the beginning. More than 96% of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide, the fuel for an unstoppable runaway greenhouse effect. This effect traps heat in a prison from which it can never escape, keeping the surface temperature at a constant 870 degrees Fahrenheit everywhere, day and night, at the poles and the equator. This temperature is hot enough to melt lead, making Venus the rightful owner of the title Hell of the Solar System, even hotter than Mercury, which is closer to the Sun. Even time itself seems to be turned upside down in this crushing and scorching world. Venus, unlike most other planets, spins on its axis in the opposite direction, a motion called retrograde rotation. So, if you were on Venus, you would witness the sun rising in the west and setting in the east. And this rotation is so slow, it's hard to believe. One full rotation on its axis, its day, is a full 243 Earth days long. Yet its trip around the sun, its year, is only 225 Earth days. Yes, you heard that right. On Venus, a day is longer than a year. It's the slowest and strangest definition of a day in the solar system. So, how do we know all this? Who has seen the surface of this hell? The answer lies in the Soviet Union's courageous Venera program. These armored probes, which landed on Venus in the 1970s and 80s, managed to send us the first and only photos from the surface before being destroyed by the crushing pressure and searing heat. These distorted orange-tinted images showed us an alien world covered in volcanic rocks. Later, NASA's Magellan probe pierced the thick clouds with radar, mapping the entire surface of the planet and revealing a world filled with thousands of volcanoes, immense plateaus, and strange flat volcanic structures called pancake domes. And what about the most tragic secret? Venus wasn't always like this. It's thought that billions of years ago, the young Venus, much like the young Earth, had oceans of liquid water on its surface, a temperate climate, a world hospitable to life. But its proximity to the sun sealed its fate. Increasing solar radiation slowly evaporated the oceans. The water vapor in the atmosphere triggered an initial greenhouse effect. As the warming increased, more water evaporated, leading to a vicious cycle, a runaway greenhouse effect. The oceans boiled away completely, carbon dioxide was baked out of the rocks into the atmosphere, and the planet became the irreversible hell it is today. Venus is not just a lost twin, it is a cosmic cautionary tale, a living, scorching testament to how wrong a planet can go. And those are just a few of the mind-boggling secrets of our solar system. Thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified for the next episode. I'll see you in the next one.